it's also amazing that some of us pastors have said worship is just for the music department. So during the time of worship, the pastors don't make themselves a part of it. So they sit down either in their offices, or even when they are actually in the sanctuary, they just sit down. They don't participate. When it's time to stand and clap, they don't clap. When it's time to actually prostrate and bow down, they are not a part of it. Because by their understanding, it is out of the mouth of babes. So it is meant for babes. And not realizing that the babe is a person that is constantly sucking from the Lord.
Thank you, Daddy. Indeed, we now know that worship is not just the song.
It's not the song. It's not the song. The song is the outward vocalization
Expression
of the
covenant.
conviction that you have the covenant.
Oh, wow.
I've been asked this question, a lot of times as to what is the secret of my longevity in ministry, in music, and in life. A very funny thing happened, and I got to somewhere. I was about to minister. I was the guest minister, and because I was, completely clean-shaved, I was looking like one of them. So I was actually ushered to sit, somewhere behind in the middle aisle. I think it was like row 6 or something. So I sat down, and the pastor kept looking for, where is Dr. PANAM? And so my PA just went and told them that I'm around, so they can call me once they are ready. So, the pastor went and, stood up and invited me without seeing me, but he had already confirmed from my PA that I was around. So when he called, I stood up from 6 rows behind him and went, to meet him up on stage. And when he saw me, he couldn't believe it. He was like, "Are you really the one?" Because as far as they were concerned, I was looking so ordinary. There was nothing flamboyant, about me. There were no shiny, dazzling apparels. Everything was just normal. And so when I got up stage, I said, "Okay, from today I'm going to be keeping beard." so people will know that I'm much older than they think. The reason I share this story is, a lot of people want to be recognized for their accomplishments. It has never occurred to me that I have accomplished anything. Honest, and I'm being as sincere as I can. I'll tell you why. Part of my challenge is this. It is said that Nigeria has a population of about 180 million people, and roughly about 50 or thereabout percent of that is Christian. So that brings it to about 90 million. We have about 90 million people. Okay, so we have about 90 million Christians in Nigeria, and I've succeeded in selling about annually, each of my albums sells about 1.2 to 1.5 million copies, each of the albums. Now, someone hearing this would actually really doff his hat and say that is a huge success. But I sit down and I ask myself, there are 90 million people, and I have sold 1.5 million. Does that sound like success to you? Now, it is also said that I have an influence over about 40 million Nigerians. If there are over 180 million people in the country, and I am ministering, or I have reached 40 million, is that a success? It is not, because what is 40 million in terms of percentage to 180 million? I mean, that's ridiculous, percentage. So for me, it's actually, it's actually, my success is not measured by the indices of sales. What I consider success is, what did God ask me to do? That's the only thing that is keeping me going. Vision, we call it vision. We call it, the project that God has given to me, we call it dreams. I have a dream, and my dream is to empty myself completely, if possible, of all the songs I've written and of all the wisdom and knowledge that God has given to me. I just want to empty them completely. I want to die empty, because the knowledge I have, is it going to be useful when we get to the realm of perfection, where everybody knows everything? It's not going to be useful there. So this is the place for my abilities to be utilized. So I don't hoard anything. I am not in competition with anybody. I don't see anybody as a competition. I see everybody as unique and special. And I see myself as unique and special, that no one can ever be like me. And I don't want to be the most foolish person on earth trying to be like somebody else, because I can never be. So the secret of my success is that I have a dream. I have a vision. The secret of my longevity is that this dream has not yet been accomplished. And so I keep pursuing it. And the interesting thing is that the more I pursue, the larger it becomes. The more I pursue, the larger the dream, and the goals, become. So my desire to do things, to work, to write, is increasing every day. I've gotten to the point where right now I honestly can't remember when I ever slept more than 3 hours at any night. Because there's so much to write, there's so much to study and to know, and there's so much to think about, plan, and there's so much to give to people. And so that burden, or should I say that energy, is actually what keeps me going. I don't feel overburdened, I don't feel stressed. No, I just feel privileged to be given this opportunity to reach out to as many people as the Lord has brought my way. Now, the reason people fail along the line is that they change vision. Right now, a lot of people are using what I call borrowed anointing or borrowed vision. So just because your next neighbor is a bookseller and you are selling shoes, and every time children are about to resume school, people come to him, to buy books, and you are there with your shoes, then suddenly, after about 10 years of doing that business, you now want to change into a book business. What I've discovered is that anytime anybody changes his focus, he starts afresh. So the 10 years that you have invested is actually a waste. So you now start afresh because you have to know, you have to go back, learn this new business. You have to build new clientele, you know, because new customers, you know. If not, before you know it, while you're right there on the same street next door to the same man selling the books, people will still be coming to him because they only know him. They've built a relationship, and you are just starting. So you're starting afresh. So the whole 10 years you've invested into the shoe business is all a waste. I've been in ministry for 46 years. Before getting born again and getting into ministry, I was a secular musician for 10 years. Yeah, I played the secular music in Zaria, Area Garden Hotel, Moonshine Hotel, West End Club with my boss, Sonny Lionheart. They call him Habadodo, you know, and then Balamila, you know, in Kaduna. Both of them, of course, are late now, and so for me, music is not something that I do out of compulsion, or probably I have nothing else to do and that's why I'm doing music. No, music is who I am. That's my gift. That is my most natural way of reasoning. When I want to talk to people, I actually always feel like if I sing my speech, it will be more articulate. So for me, music is my life. I feel that the day I abandon music for something else, I'm going to die. Because, I mean, you know, yeah, I've studied engineering, yes, you know, I've read philosophy probably to the highest level, you know, of those studies. But then, there is something that